All right, if you're thinking about moving to Florida, this video might completely change where you choose to live. I'm about to show you the 10 most dangerous cities in Florida based on real crime data, not headlines, violent crime and property crime. And some of these places are probably not even ones that you would expect. Probably not ones you're going to expect either. Stay with us till the end because I'm also going to break down what crime really looks like in places like New Smyrna Beach and Daytona Beach and Port Orange and Ormond Beach, plus a few Florida cities that are actually doing an incredible job when it comes to safety. Hey there, if you're new to the channel, you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas, then you've come to the right place. My name is Matt Ecoff. I'm a local real estate expert. This is my beautiful wife, Rachel Ecoff. She is also a real estate expert. And we're here to help folks from all over the country figure out where not just to move on Florida's East Coast, but where it's actually going to feel good. All the way from schools to flooding to lifestyle and yes, even crime, which we're discussing today. If you're new here, I've already got a full playlist of New Smyrna Beach, Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, and Edgewater, and all the popular suburbs of each of those places. I break them down for the cost of living, neighborhoods, new construction, and everything else that I get asked on a regular basis. Check out my playlist, and you can even see them. I have them sorted and separated from suburbs and neighborhoods too. You can go ahead and share those videos with anybody that you want, and we're always looking to help as many people as we can. So our team gets phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether it be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, so you get all the updates and notifications because we do these videos every week. All right, let's get started. All right, before anyone gets upset in the comments, let me be crystal clear how this list was created because this is not fear-mongering. All right, we're using FBI uniform crime data, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE, 5-year trends, and total crime per 1,000 residents, which include violent crime and property crime. And there's a big difference between those. But here's the big caveat. Every city has good neighborhoods and bad neighborhoods, right? This is about helping you make smarter buying decisions, not labeling anyone's hometown as bad. That's not what we're trying to do. All right, so let's start with where Florida's trending right now. According to FBI data analyzed by USA Facts, Florida overall crime rate fell in 2025 compared to the prior year. Okay. Violent crime rates dropped about 8.7%, property crime rates dropped 6%, and overall crime rates dropped 6.4% from 2024 to 2025. So these figures are the most recent complete year of uniform reporting available from the FBI. Okay. And they indicate that crime was trending downward, which again is positively. Nationally, we're going to talk about where Florida compares nationally. Florida's violent crime rate, which is 267 per 100,000 residents, was lower than the national average. Okay, so we're way lower than the national average, which was actually kind of surprising to me because it's Florida and there's Miami and there's Jacksonville, there's some other areas, you know, and it's a big travel destination. So also Florida's property crime rate, which was 1,420 per every 100,000 residents, was also below the national average. Okay, these kind of rankings place Florida roughly into the mid to lower among states for violent crime and property crimes, around 31 to 35th best in the United States. So I mean, figure out of 50 states, you know, 31 to 35. What we know is it's great news if you're thinking about moving to Florida, but this isn't just about Florida. This is about the top 10 in Florida. So we're going to go through and we're going to talk about right now the top 10 most dangerous cities in Florida, counting down from 10 to number 1. Okay. Coming in at number 10, Miami Beach. I love Miami Beach.
I love Miami Beach.
We love Miami Beach. Now, there's a difference between Miami Beach and Miami. So Miami Beach is the beach side, also referred to as South Beach. Miami Beach is number 10 in the state of Florida, has one of the highest violent crime rates in Florida among communities frequently ranked. So out of the bigger cities like Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, Miami comes in at one of the top ones. Per one ranking, Miami shows about 852 reported violent crimes per every 100,000, significantly above the national norms. Okay, the city is known for tourism and nightlife, as most people know. Historically, spring break periods have required enhanced enforcement to keep crowds and crime under control, which they did this last year. They said actually they did a big news thing. It was all over the state. Miami is closed. Basically, Miami is closed for spring break because they were trying to keep those crime rates out of there.
That was a big deal. It made national headlines.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal. And I think, you know, the high tourism and the nightlife can definitely influence those crime statistics in Miami Beach, especially because it's, you know, there's so many people that are coming from all over the world. And because we are so far south in Florida, you do have, some drug stuff going on down there, and you got some of that stuff. So this isn't a year-round thing. This is their seasonal spikes, but overall, number 10 is Miami Beach.
Okay.
All right, coming in at number 9, city that we actually cover and we talk about it here on our channel, Daytona Beach comes in at number 9. Now, we did our Hoods of Daytona Beach video, which got a ton of views and a ton of comments, and people talking about it. People reach out even to me maybe just 15 minutes ago. A guy was saying, hey, I'm looking at this area in Daytona. What do you think about this? And actually the crime was great. So the crime rate was great in this area, just happened to be in a flood zone. But I had people reach out to me about this video, which is what caused this video to happen. But Daytona Beach, we do know that it's more porch pirates and property damage. It's not a lot of major crime. The statistics show that 794 violent crimes happen per 100,000 residents. So that's a little bit lower than Miami, but higher than the national average. Again, this is property crime. This is theft, burglary. It tends to be larger than the violent crime. And again, this is a lot because of the beach tourism, and the spring break. So now I will say with Daytona Beach, there is a huge difference between beachside and the mainland pocket. And with as much things that's going on in Daytona Beach with Bike Week, which I'm sure plays a huge factor, and Biketoberfest, and, in Daytona 500 and Pepsi 400, those things are going to play into factors, and they're always involving some drinking and something like that, and I think crimes are going to go up at that point. So this is, this tourist populated, but also a resident populated on the beach side.
Okay.
On the beach side. Yep. So we cover this area, Daytona Beach. It's one of ours of the 7 or 8 areas that we cover, but it does come in at number 9 on the list of top 10s. All right, coming in at number 8 is Tampa, Florida. Tampa's on the west coast, if you don't know, towards the southwest coast on the Gulf of America, now the Gulf of America. Tampa appears in several crime lists with about 1,622 violent crimes reported the last FBI roll-ups. So that's not out of per 100,000. That was just 1,622 violent crimes reported in 2025. So, all right, because Tampa's a little bit larger and has a larger metropolitan area, which has higher raw numbers total because of total people that are there, national crime data shows that Tampa often is higher total crime rate than many other mid-sized city. Mid-sized city being like Orlando is not, is a mid-sized city compared to Jacksonville or compared to, Miami, Jacksonville, which are some of the larger ones. Tampa's not a larger one, it's more of a mid-sized city, but it does come on the higher end. I will say in Tampa area, because I have some friends that live in Tampa and I work with some real estate agents in Tampa and I work with some contractors there too, the neighborhood selection is everything. Choosing your area, because you can be close to the water in a phenomenal area and then you can be 10 minutes away from an area that you want to stay out of completely.
Okay, so that's good to know for people who are looking in Tampa.
They're looking in Tampa, yeah. And if you're looking in Tampa, I can't help you buy something, but I can help refer somebody because I do work with some agents out in the Tampa area. So Tampa comes in at number 8. Number 7 comes in from where I was born, Jacksonville, Florida. This is actually not...
And you're a bad boy.
I'm wearing this shirt with skulls on it. I got my sunglasses.
One of the top 10 most dangerous cities in Florida.
That's true. I cover number 9 and I'm born in number 7.
All right.
Dang. Okay, so listen, Jacksonville often ranks at the top or near the top among Florida cities every year for violent crimes. One rating said that violent crimes in 2025 was about 5,886. Now, Tampa was 1,600, and this was 5,886. That's a huge freaking jump. It's about 647 crimes for every 100,000 people is the average there. So now I will say in 2025, rate crimes did drop. It dropped 3.7%. While they increased police activity and policing hours, the rates did go down 3.7%. So
it's improving.
It's improving. Yeah,
it'll start getting lower on the list.
It does have one of the highest crime counts in the entire state of Florida. Also, it is the biggest city in Florida. People don't know that by square footage, and by total square footage, it's one of the largest. But again, it's neighborhoods and suburbs, because I was born in Orange Park, which I just gave away all my street cred. Orange Park is a lot different than Jacksonville is, downtown Jacksonville and some of the areas outside of downtown Jacksonville. So look, it's a massive city, but different safety by zip codes for sure. All right, number 6. This was actually very surprising to me. Number 6 on the list was Orlando. And so, you think of Orlando, the vacation capital of the world, Mickey Mouse, as you're wearing right now. Hey, that's actually why you're wearing it, because maybe you knew that Orlando was going to come in.
I knew
that number.
Right, I did.
2,157 violent crimes and 738 for every 100,000. So murder and robbery are actually the highest in the state. We know this. There's a specific area, a specific neighborhood off of OBT that statistically is that way. This is more on the north side of Orlando. The south side of downtown gets into the touristy area when you get into the Millennium Mall and you get into Universal Studios and you get into Disney World and all the attractions over there and iDrive. But this comes in on the north side of Orlando, really in the city, I would say, in the north side of the city, because we both have lived in Orlando and have lots of friends that live in Orlando. So this one was a little bit surprising to me because it's such a big tourism hub. But like I said, it's one of the higher ones in the state, and for murders and robbery, it's actually the highest, which is kind of.
That is actually really surprising.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you consider that's you got Mickey Mouse there and Universal Studios.
I don't really associate Orlando with murder, but
yeah. Well, now I will say statistics don't lie, and I will say that even though Disney and Universal are in officially Lake Buena Vista, they are Orlando addresses, and their crime rates are very, very low on those sides. So if you're looking to move to Disney or Disney area, you're going to be perfectly fine with it. Even Metro West, which a lot of people that live, work at Universal Studios and work at the theme parks, live SeaWorld, stuff like that. All right, number 5 comes in at Fort Myers. This was also very surprising to me because Fort Myers is gorgeous, but what was not surprising is because it has a higher crime rate because the population is small. So it's a per capita thing. So they actually didn't even have numbers to record, like I said, 678 out of 100,000 residents, because they don't have those kind of numbers in Fort Myers.
Okay.
So, but Fort Myers did come in at number 5 and sided with, higher crime rate, one of the highest crime rates per capita in the state. Again, which I was a little bit surprised of. But it also said that when I was doing the research that this is dominated from theft and vehicle break-in. So this is not violent crime. This is like kind of petty crime.
Petty, okay.
I mean, I don't know if you can call breaking in or theft petty crime. I mean, I'm the one with the skulls on my shirt. I'd probably tell you that if you want to. Comment below. I'll let you know if you need to know that information. All right, so this one wasn't a surprise at all. Number 4 was West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach has not ever really been known. More Riviera Beach, which is right below that, has been known to be one of the top ones too. But this shows about 859 violent crimes per every 100,000 residents. So that's above average violent crime in the state and in the country. So historical trends tend to show West Palm Beach significantly reduced total crimes over the last couple decades, though. And one analyst said that it was about 50% reduction year over year since the 1990s. So they are trying to improve, and I think Palm Beach on the other side of 95 helps that, because Palm Beach is one of the nicest areas in all of Florida, one of the richest areas.
Has one of the most amount of money.
But then you cross that bridge, again, this is urban versus neighborhood. Like, this is going to be everywhere that you're looking. I mean, we did a Hoods of Daytona Beach video, and I mean, heck, there's stuff in New Smyrna Beach that's in Inwood. We've talked about that too, not to move into Inwood, but it happened to be just down the street from Canal Street. So these places have, this is everywhere. There's bad neighborhoods everywhere. We're not trying to pick on any one specific one. So the one good thing about West Palm, though, is it does have long-term safety improvements. I mean, since the 90s, that reduction, that's good.
That is good.
And again, Riviera Beach below that is constantly ranks among the highest in state crimes as well. It's just not on this list. All right, then we get down to number 3, which is Miami proper, not Miami Beach. This is Miami.
This is the city of
Miami. And I will say that I know, because I've done some of these things before with the crime stuff, specifically right where the airport is. That airport, when you're landing into Miami and you're coming down and you can see those houses there, those are some of the worst areas in all of Miami. Violent crimes are high, and reported violent crimes were 2,850 in 2025.
Really?
So that's, significantly. I mean, again, we have a larger population. Miami's got one of the largest populations in Florida. Really big nightlife economy, and I know that nightlife contributes to the crime.
It does. Yeah.
Okay, this was crazy to me, number 2. I was so surprised to hear about number 2, but Gainesville came in as the number 2 most dangerous city.
Which is interesting, because that's where the college is.
928 violent crimes reported in 2025, and 687 per 100,000 residents are having a year over year. So
Is it violent crimes?
So it's more petty crime, it's more theft, break-in, and student-linked incidents due to drunkenness. Okay,
that adds up. That makes a lot more sense.
Still, you know what? There are other big college towns, and the University of Florida is a it's a prestigious school to go to. It's hard to get in, and it's got a student body that is on the upper level. I would imagine this at FSU, University of South Florida. I mean, I guess it is because it's Tampa's in South Florida, and then Florida's in Jacksonville. So I was just surprised to hear this. But the contributing factors, they said, the population of the University of Florida, but also with Santa Fe Community College now being Santa Fe State University, bringing in more kids as well.
Okay.
And again, the rowdy bunches. Nevertheless, I was extremely surprised to see Gainesville at number 2.
So it's college crime.
College crime, yeah.
Okay.
All right, and coming in at number 1, this was not a surprise at all. This is notorious year after year after year. It's Lake City, Florida. This is up in North Florida. Lake City has the highest reported crime rates in Florida every year. It's about 1,547 per every 100,000 residents. So that's nearly 4 times the state average. Violent crimes are also nearly 4 times the state average and well over the national average. And what the FBI said is basically off of socioeconomic factors that play into this, but it's consistently at the top of FDLE, that's Florida Department of Law Enforcement, at the top of their rankings every single year. And I've never been to Lake City, but I have, heard of it. No, I don't think I do. Although I got this shirt on, on the way I look, maybe I don't know, maybe I could do good real estate there. All right, so let's talk about what I want to talk about though for a second, okay? Let's make this about me.
Okay.
What does this mean for New Smyrna Beach, Port Orange, Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, and Ponce Inlet, the areas that we cover, okay? New Smyrna Beach, for sure, crime rates are way, way, way below state average. Beachside and North Beach are especially stable. Very little crime in these areas. You hardly ever hear about it. Most incidents that happen in New Smyrna Beach are non-violent, and a lot of them happen in Inwood. And again, it's petty crime, it's property theft, porch pirates, and things like that. So very low. Port Orange is one of the safest cities in Volusia County, also with very strong schools, suburban layout, and low violent crime year after year. So Port Orange, also phenomenal place. Ormond Beach consistently ranks as one of the safest coastal cities in the state of Florida. Top 5 coastal cities in the state of Florida for Ormond Beach. Yes, it's a really big one. And the FBI, we'll talk about it here in a minute. Well, I'll talk about it, but I'll give the FBI stats. Yeah.
Okay.
And part of the reason Ormond Beach is so safe too is they have a real strong police presence and the planning around their events. So it also is a high GDP, higher earners, a little bit older group. There's not as nearly as many events there. It is a beach town, not an event town. So it's not surprising. And then Daytona Beach Shores, small population, but very, very low crime rate. I think what helps is it's super condo heavy.
Yeah.
It being condo heavy, it controls access, and there's HOA security. And those things are a really good combination of things. I love Daytona Beach Shores. I think, the lifestyle there is amazing. And then Ponce Inlet's one of the safest communities in the region. Limited access points, high owner occupancy, and really just kind of real low key, quiet, quaint beach town.
Yeah.
So, and according to the FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and the FBI, the 7 safest cities in Florida that's worth knowing is Port Orange. This is in no particular order, by the way. This is just the 7 that are listed out. Port Orange, which we cover. Ormond Beach, which we cover. Winter Springs, which is more towards Orlando. Oviedo, which is kind of by the UCF area. Palm Coast, which is north of here by about 45 minutes, closer to St. Augustine. Jupiter, which is down south on the east side. And then Marco Island. So those are the top, according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, those are the top 7 safest cities worth knowing if you're moving here. So what's the big takeaway on today's video? It's crime stats are a tool, just like interest rates or days on market. You don't have to live in fear of them. You use them for your advantage and to make decisions. I think that's the biggest thing. 2 streets can feel completely different just a few blocks apart. And if that's why having a local agent actually matters, that can tell you about these places and where to go and where not to go, and how these roads and these different neighborhoods and suburbs are different and why they matter. So listen, if you're thinking about moving anywhere in Central Florida, especially over by New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas like Ormond Beach and Ponce Inlet and Daytona Beach Shores and Port Orange, then reach out to me. We talk through schools, neighborhoods, listing, traffic patterns, real world safety, not just the listing photos that you can see on Zillow, Realtor, Redfin, anything like that. If this video helped you out, please hit the like button and subscribe, because we do these kind of things every week. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, don't hesitate to reach out. I just replied to a comment on our YouTube page, and we just got off of Zoom with a couple from Massachusetts. We do this all the time, so don't think that you're the only person. And yes, it is me that picks up the phone. I got a call the other day from the couple that we're having dinner with tonight that are in from New Hampshire, and they're like, I'm like, this is Matt. He goes, wait, this is actually Matt? Like, yeah, this is Matt. We're not famous people. We are normal people. We are a real estate team, and our job is to answer the phone. So call us, email us, text us, set up a Zoom invite. Until next time, thanks for joining us for this video of top 10 of most dangerous cities in Florida.